Hello students, in this session we are going to discuss about the how to deploy files to GitHub via Git. So Git, Git, Git is a if you want to use Git, Git is a shared repository. You can easy to share your process. So here GitHub, the task is, so we have the tool name as Git bash tool. With the help of Git bash tool we can create files, and we can deploy files. We can deploy to GitHub. GitHub is a shared repository, shared repository. We can easy to share your files. It is a source code repository. We can create a version. We can say it as this is a version control system. So version control system means we can create any number of versions for the code. For example, I want to create a Java application for addition of 2 numbers. Initially I wrote a code. We can say it as version 1.0. add 2 numbers. So I wrote a code for the add 2 numbers. Then we can create a file named as version 1.0. Later I modified, I added 2 more operations, subtraction and division. So now the version is changed to version 1.1, and we have added 1 more operation, multiplication. Then it changed to version 1.2. So here we have we can create any number of versions. For example, the current version 1.2 is unable to execute all the applications. We can immediately go through the version 1.1 and we can run the server. So if you want to create version any number of versions, you can use version control system. And next, in GitHub we have different commands. But the first point is, actually we can directly deploy a file to GitHub. The first point here is step 1, install Git bash tool. Step 2, once you install Git bash tool, create an account in github.com. We can use this account for entire our course. So don't create complex passwords. It is just for only deploying files from your account to the project. So use simple, for example, my username is 5887 and my password is 5887. So use simple password for your process. So create an account in GitHub. Once you install Git bash tool, this is the procedure to install Git bash tool. Open this link. Once you go to this link, here we have multiple operating systems, Mac OS, Windows and Ubuntu. So we can use your environment which supports you, which we are using. I am using Windows. And once you install Windows, click on Windows and install the version. And to check the public key is configured, initially once you installed, need to check the public key is configured or not. That is, we have to create key creation. So the step is create key creation. So for key creation here, this is the, once you install Git bash tool, we need to check whether the key is available or not. So, the first step is type cd space. Initially you are in like in this path in master. So, change directly to cd.ssh secure shell key. So, check change cd space .ssh, then you are in .ssh folder, you are in .ssh path, then type ls. Once you type the ls stands for listing, ls stands for a listing. So, ls, once you type ls, we can view all files which are in the name id underscore rsa, rsa key, id underscore rsa dot pb stands for public key. So, if you are doing first time you did not find any key, you need to create key. If you are unable to create the key, you can type the command. If you check if your keys are available, you can, if you want to view the key, cat space id underscore rsa dot pub, you will get the key. Copy the key up to. So, the task here is we have to copy the key starting from here to last 4f. Do not copy the space. So, just only copy the key from here to here, and similarly paste the key. Go to your account, create an account in GitHub. In your GitHub account, in the right side, click on, you have settings is there option. Click on settings. Once you click on settings here we have option. Click on here option with your name, then click on settings. In settings we have SSH and GPG keys. The task is you have to create a key first. We are trying to key secure shell keys. Then in SSH keys we have to create a new key. Then if the key is initially key is not there, you can click on new key, and then you follow the steps. If the key is not there, you go to the here settings and GPG keys, select and click on new key. Give some name and copy the key. Here we have the key, right? We got the key in git bash. Copy this key, give some key name, copy this key and paste here, and add key. Give some key name, any key 1 or key 2, add the key, and next again ask you to log in, confirm password, then the key was created. Again check the key was created. It is the process of verifying the key is available in the github.com. If key is not there, generate the following steps. If this is the process, the key is there. If you want to create a project to deploy the files, the point here is, if you want to clear the screen, the command is Ctrl L to clear the screen. And if you want to create a new repository in the github.com, so my repository name is library management system. So here name is library management, and select public and create repository, and the repository was created. Once you create the repository, you will get some dashboard like this. Repository path is there. In the path we have github.com, Sriharsha is the account name, library management is the project name, and here we have a list of comments. So if you want to execute now the task is, the account was created in the GitHub with your name, and git bash was installed, and the key was created. Now with the help of commands, how to deploy files from git bash to GitHub. So initially I want to create one folder for my project. So the command is mkdir, name of the folder, and cd space, name of the folder. Now we are in the folder. Now go to github.com. Here the path is there, HTTPS path. We select the HTTPS path and copy the path here. The command is git to clone. This is the path you have copied from the GitHub, and select here git to clone. This is the path you copied. So git@github.com, and Sriharsha KLU is the account, and library management is the project name. And once you clone the project, once you got if you doesn't got any issues, next change the path to cd space library management. Why? Because if you want, the task is you want to clone your files from your local machine to the global repository. So the local folder, the folder was available in your local, in your laptop. Okay. Now the task is you need to change the path. See, the you need to give some path link, that is cd space library management, where you want to save the files. You want to save the files in your project name library management. Now once you clone the project, you need to give the path, that is cd space library management. Then create a new file. If you want to create a file, we have different ways. The first one is touch space sample.txt to create files. So touch is the command to create files. Name of the file is sample.txt. Then add content. If you want to add content, you can use sample.txt, means one text file was created. Next, this is the process. Or another process is vi editor is there, vi space some file name, for example hello.txt. Then we will get like this. Now we can type hi, hello, welcome to DevOps course. Then if you want to close this prompt, the path, the command is type w colon press enter. First of all press escape, then type colon wq. Colon wq meant for write and quit. So the first step is escape, type escape first, then colon wq, that is write and quit. Next, so if you want to write, you can press insert button in the keyboard. After writing the code, if you want to close the vi prompt, press escape button and type the colon wq to confirm to main, to coming back to the main prompt. Then you will get the, now you will be display, now again you will be in the main prompt in your project path. Now the task is the file was created. Now check the git status. In the git status, 2 files are created, but they are not in, they are untracked files. We are not add to the git. Task is add to git. If you want to add all the files, you can use git space add space dot. Then check git status. Now the files are in committed, tracked files, but not committed. Committed means not saved. Now the command is git space commit hyphen m for message. I am giving, for first time I am committing my files into the shared repository, I am giving version 1. Once you enter the command, you will get some results. Now the file was committed, the files are added to the git and saved in the git, and the task is you have to push the files to a project. Okay, then git space push. Push means this is the path. Okay, once this is the execution of the git push command. Writing objects total 4. To where we have to write means we are going to the git. In the GitHub we have the account Sriharsha KLU. In the account we are giving the path as library management. Then we can save all the files in the library management. Now the task is you go to the GitHub. So in the GitHub, once you go, initially the dashboard is like this. Now you can refresh. Once you refresh your page, so you can check the newly committed files like this, hello world.java and sample.txt are there. Once you click on the hello world.java, you can check the code is available in the hello world.java file, and then create a pipeline Azure program. This is the way to push the files. So before going to deploy files, to deploy the files to GitHub, the first one is create an account in the github.com. How to create an account in github.com? So the task here is, so here you can type github.com, GitHub, GitHub login, GitHub login. In GitHub login, you can initially first time if you want to create an account, this is the way to create an account. So enter your email. and continue. Once you create an account, by default you can use your KL mail to create an account. So my account is Sriharsha S Harsha at KL University. Use your KL University mail to deploy project files into GitHub. Okay, tab CRSHA at 72400. So you will get a verification code to your email. Check your email. So in your email you get a verification code. Copy the code. This is the way to create an account. Once you create the account in github.com, it is a source code repository. It is a version control system to keep all your versions of code, and click on new. So I am creating a project, name DevOps. So the name was, the DevOps name is available, and public is by default is public, and create a repository. So once you create a repository, you can check HTTPS link is there for your project. For example, if any team member wants to deploy the files into your account, simply you can deploy, you can give this path to your you can share your path to your team members to deploy their code. Likewise here list of commands are there, echo DevOps to print, and git installation. Initially if you want to start the git, you can use git init, git add, git commit, git branch. Initially once you add the files, doesn't add to the directly to the main, it goes to the branch, then it goes to the main, and then remote add, git remote add your project name, and then git push. So from branch to main, main to your project. Doesn't go directly to the project. Initially they are untracked files, that is branch, then it goes to the main, then it goes to the project, then push the files. This is the way to create a project. And then next you can copy this path again in settings, open settings here, settings in next tab. In the next tab we need to create a key creation. The key was already created here. Initially if you want to create a key creation is very important. If you are not creating key, it is not possible to authenticate who you are. You are asking to deploy the files into your account, but we need to find who are you. That's why we need to authenticate through git bash. Now git bash installation was completed, and you go to git bash, you can check here. Git bash, open. So in git bash we can use initially mkdir make directory project, project cd project, and we have git init, git was initialized. Next git we can use git clone command. We need to clone your project folder, this folder to the git repository. And next the path here is copy the path in the DevOps. This is the path cloning. So the task is we need to clone the project. So whatever the files we need to create, we need to store the files in your project folder DevOps. So that's why we are giving command git clone. Clone means copy, create a copy of the project in the GitHub. So cloning. So once it is cloned, it is empty repository, nothing is there. How can you check? Means git status. So no commits. We are on branch master. We are in branch means not committed. So on branch master. And next so we need to, once we clone the process, we need to change the path. We are in project folder means project means in your machine we are in project. Then we need, once you clone the project, we need to change the path to DevOps. That is cd space DevOps. Now we are in DevOps folder. Now we are in our project, in our account we have a DevOps project. We are in DevOps project. We can check ls, no files. Then if you want to create notepad space hello.txt. So initially we need to create a notepad. Yes. So hello students, so welcome to DevOps course. It is a end-to-end, delivery pipeline. Alt F save, Alt F4 close. Now check. If you want to view what the content is there in the file, cat space hello.txt and git space add space. Initially check the git status. File was created, need to check the git status. So hello.txt is in red color means it is untracked file. It is in branch. Need to add. Once you add, if you want to add all the files means for example I want to create one more file, vi space welcome.txt. So this is a vi editor. Now click on insert, hello students, and deploy how to. So in this session we are going to learn how to deploy files from git bash to GitHub. Is a version control system. Escape colon WQ means write and quit. Now check git status. Two files are there, they are untracked files, not yet branched. So on branch we have untracked files too. Now we need to commit the file, you need to add the files to git. The command is git space hello.txt and again check git status. So one file was in green color means it is in main, it is added to the git. Then one file was not, it is untracked file. It is so one file was getting to commit. It shows in green color. One file was in red color, means untracked file. Now we can check git space add space. If you want to add all the files, git space add space dot. Next git space add check status. Now all the files are in green color, means they are yet to commit. Next, git space, we need to commit, means git commit means you need to save the files to git space -m, we give some message regarding version 1 of the code, version 1. So initially if you are doing first time, we need to run the two commands, that is git, simply git config. So we need to configure, if you are doing first time in any machine, we need to configure globally using the global through your mail and username, global.user.email. the email is sharsha@kluniversity.in, and second command is git space config space -- global user dot name is, so you need to give the name which was used in your GitHub account. For example, in your GitHub account, my account, for example my account, we have, so this is my account, my name is in my personal account, here my name is Sriharsha KLU. So don't give any other name, check the name which was there in the GitHub account and give the name as it is, Sriharsha KLU. So the two commands are completed, then check git commit -m version 1. So if you need to commit the files, you need to inform who you are. So I informed my username, I informed who am I through my username and my username and email. So one file or two files are committed, hello.txt and welcome.txt. Now the task is we need to push the files. The files are available in the GitHub in main. The task is we need to push the files into a project. So the command is git push. If you are doing first time, it need to ask you to again sign in with a browser. So you got a small window, small pop-up window, sign in into a browser. Be asking you username here. My username is Sri Harsha KLU. Password, I am giving my password. So you carefully observe, once you type the command git push, you got a small pop-up window, a small window. So here once you initially were doing first time, you will get some error, unable to read the commands, authentication. So again we can give the password clearly. So with a browser sign up, okay. Once you execute the process, you will get like this git push. The file was completely pushed into the account. If you want to check the how to push the process, means you can check here, you can refresh here. Once you refresh here, you can check the two files are available, hello.txt and welcome.txt. You can check here, hello.txt, two files which was saved here is hello.txt and welcome.txt. Okay, then you can check the two files, hello.txt and welcome.txt. Click on welcome hello.txt. Hello students, welcome to DevOps course. It is the end-to-end delivery pipeline is one file, and welcome.txt we created through VI process, that is hello students deploy files from Git bash to GitHub version control system. Okay, this is the way to deploy the files to GitHub. This is the way to deploy the files to GitHub via git bash tool. So initially install git bash tool and install git bash tool and start the commands. You can run the commands like this. So once you execute the file, this is the process. So initially create a directory and change that to directory and start the git and clone, copy your folder. You have a path in your GitHub, copy the path and clone, and clone means create a copy of the entire project and change the path to DevOps. cd DevOps means here project name is DevOps, and change the path to DevOps. And next create two files, that is how to create files means notepad, and we can use hello.txt. if you want to create, if you want to see what is there in the notepad, cat and git status. Initially it was not untracked file, and we can, if you want to create one more file using different format, vi space welcome.txt, and here two files are, if you want to view the status, there in red color means untracked files, and if you want to add, it will be in a tracked file. It is yet to commit means in green color, red means untracked file. If you want to add all files, and you can use git space add dot, then git status, two files are added here. And initially if you are doing first time in your mission, it will mission ask you who you are, how to authenticate with you with the GitHub. So if you want to authenticate means you can use these two commands, git config global using your email and git config global with your name. Now check, I configured globally with the new mission email and username. Now you can save the files. So here once you run the command git commit, -m stands for giving some message to my code. Version 1 means my new version, and two files are created, hello.txt and welcome.txt. And initially for doing first time git push, you will get some error. Why? Because when you run the command git push, you will got a window, pop-up window at the in the downside of the taskbar. Clearly observe the pop-up window and give your username and password clearly. It will ask you a username. So whatever the username which was there in your GitHub account, whatever the account, this is my GitHub account. So in the window, it is small window, it will ask you username and password. Once you enter, you will get like this execution process. So files are forwarded to your account DevOps. Now go to your projects. So initially there are no files. Now in your DevOps project we have two files. Okay, thank you all.